Welcome back to Scale Model Kit Review, and welcome back to another installment of Build the Willys MB Jeep. This installment I will be assembling stages 51 through 55. I'll be doing 5 stages from now on. And we'll go ahead and look at the parts first. Stage 51 are the dashboard lights and switches. Stage 52 is the battery compartment. Stage 53, one of the rear fenders and storage compartments. Stage 54 is the axe storage component. And lastly, stage 55, the rear seat backrest. Let's get started with stage 51, working on the dashboard lights and some switches. We received some micro switches and a few LEDs and a few of the switch mounts and such. So we'll be installing some of the micro switches onto this. And there will be a push button micro switch on the other side. LED lights to reflect over your instruments just like they were in World War II. Very nice. And after we do that, we'll mount the dash to the interior compartment. And here's the parts for stage 51. You can find these parts in pack 6 of your kit. Let's get a closer look. And here's those parts: QM, SM, and JM screws. We have 51J, which is a shorter micro switch, 51I, which is the longer micro switch, LED lights right here, 51E, handle, and the LED light mounts. Plus we received some really tiny parts here, some eye hooks and switch mounts. I'll give you a close-up of that. Bring over the dash, and we'll go ahead and turn that over, and we'll turn it over just like that, where it looks like this right here. We're going to put our micro switches into this. I'm going to grab micro switch number I first. Just like that. And then J comes over next. That's going to go in right beside it. So you can see that, how that looks. I'm going to take this hold down. We're going to mount that up against those switches. Just like that. 2 SM screws go into that. And the second SM. That looks good there. Go ahead and put the handle in. We're going to go ahead and put a plastic C-clip on the back side. There we go. Just a little patience with it, and that's what that C-clip looks like. Allows the handle to move. Next we'll take our little light bezel here for the instruments, and that's going to insert just like that. And you want the windows on the bottom facing the gauges. JM screw goes into this. Next, I'll go ahead and put in these LEDs. And they'll just insert just like that. That's how that looks. I'm going to go ahead and light block the back ends of these. I'll be using my Tulip Slick. This works great. It's a real thick acrylic paint used on like t-shirts and stuff to do art. That way it light blocks that LED on the back side. I'll let that dry. Next, you need to install the dash. So we have to loosen up or take some screws out on the back side. And that would be these two screws here, right there, and right there. Okay, it's taken apart here. We'll flip it over. We're going to install our dash now on top of this. Okay, so we're going to route all our wires from the dash through this hole right here. All the way through. Just like that. And we're going to line up our holes. QM screws go into this. And the last one until it's tight. It's good there. And that's good there. That's how that looks there. That's how that looks on that side. And that's how that looks on that side. And the back side looks good. Now we can mount this back in to the chassis. Chassis back in. We'll put the two screws in, back in. There you go. And there's the dash, all installed. Next we'll put in this switch. I should have put it in before I installed the dash. So I'm just going to super glue it in place. Just like that. And the next one should have been installed while I had the dash out, but I'm just going to super glue it. Perfect. And these eyelets. Just like that. Do one on the other side. And there it is in place right there. And that's what our dash looks like so far. And that completes stage 51. Let's head over and do stage 52. Stage 52, I'll work on the battery compartment and the on and off switch. Here's the parts. Assemble the battery compartment itself. Install the springs and all that. So we're actually doing most of the work here. We're going to mount that inside of the chassis, behind the front seats there. And there how it looks in the car compartment, putting that switch in, putting some screws in. We'll go ahead and put a couple of AAA batteries into it and shut the lid. Let me get the parts, I'll be right back. Here's the parts for 52. Remember, you can find this in pack number 6 of your kit. Let's get a closer look. Okay. DM screws, components for the battery box, the box itself, the cover, the on and off switch, and all the other components for the battery box. Here's the battery box. We'll go ahead and put in the terminals for it. We'll make sure we have the single opening here on top and the 2 openings on the bottom. We'll work with that first. I'm going to go ahead and put this in on that end first. Just like that. And we'll take our spring. It's going to go on the opposite side here, and it's going to go through that slot. To where it's sticking out on this side. Same thing with this terminal here. It's going to go all the way through. That's how that looks there. And they're all in. Take a little screwdriver and push it down. Same thing here. Push it down all the way. We'll take these terminals, we're going to bend them over. Just like that. And we're going to put our battery box in. That's what that looks like. We're going to make sure these terminals are on the left side there. We're going to put that down. And 2 DM screws go into that. And that's in. Both screws are in. Next, we're going to mount this down in there, and it's going to go down on these 2 upper holes. Two more DM screws go into it. Next, I'm going to mount this switch in, and it's going to go below that. Another DM screw goes into this. Make sure everything's tight. We'll plug in these terminals. And they are plugged in. Black wire on the bottom, the red wire on top. I'm going to route this terminal through that hole. And that's what that looks like there. Go ahead and put our batteries in next. And 2 AAA batteries go into this. And go ahead and put the battery cover on. Perfect. That's all I do with stage 52. Let's head over to stage 53. In stage 53, I'll install the rear fenders left and right, storage box covers. And this is the process here and there. Let me get the parts, I'll be right back. Here's parts for stage 53. Remember, you can find these in pack number 6 of your kit. Here's the inner fenders. They are made of plastic, both of them. The covers, they are metal, very nice. BM and DM screws. Here's the inner fender cover. It's going to mount down on this tab here and right there. Slide right down. I'm going to put a BM screw into that. You can see how it looks on the inside, how that lines up with that hole there. BM screw goes into that. And looks good there, both sides. You want us to go ahead and continue to mount the floor onto the body. We're going to put 2 screws in, a BM here and a BM there. That looks good there. Both screws are in. Next, we're going to flip the car over. We're going to install these panels here. Make sure your hinge is on top. It's going to just lie down just like that. And these are working hinges. It's good there. Do the other side. That looks good there. And they work, open and close. Very nice. And that's all I do with stage 53. Let's head over to stage 54. Stage 54, I'll work on the reinforcement frame and hatchet sheath footrests. What's happening there? Let me get the parts. I'll be right back. Here's the parts for 54. Remember, you can find these in pack number 6 of your kit. Let's get a closer look. CP, MP screws, the reinforcement made of plastic, and the rest of the parts we're going to install here. I'm going to go ahead and install this on the inside here. It's just simply going to lay down. We're going to put 2 MP screws from the other side. And these are countersunk screws. And the last one. Just till it's snug. There you go. Next, we're going to install these brackets inside of the Jeep. And it's going to mount down inside the Jeep here. We're going to assemble these little components here, just like that, and they're going to go inside, get slotted in. We're going to put MP screws in, CP screws go in, 4 of them. And the last one. Looks good there. I'll do the other side and I'll be right back. And both of those footrests are installed. That's what they look like. Now we'll bring over to the left side of the body. We're going to mount this item here, which is the hatchet sheath, and it's going to go downward just like that. CP screw goes into it, and there it is installed right there. And that's all I do with stage 54. Let's head over and do stage 55. Stage 55 will be the final stage for this video. We're going to assemble the rear seat back. Here's the parts. And there's the steps. Put a couple screws in. That'll be it. Let me get the parts and I'll be right back. Here's the parts for stage 55. Remember, you can find this in pack 6 of your kit. Let's get a closer look. DM screws, and here's the parts, all made of metal. Very nice. And to make things easier, I'll take the DM screw and I'll get the thread started on it. Just like that. Take the screw out, and I'll do the other side. Put that through. And just leave it a little loose. That's good. And that's all I do with stage 55. Very nice. And that completes this video. I completed stages 51 through 55. It's a fantastic kit and I'm enjoying it immensely. If you'd like to get this kit for yourself, head over to IXO Collections and purchase the kit. Right now it comes as a full kit and not as a subscription. If you like my content, please smash the like button and please subscribe. Happy modeling, everybody, and take care.